Hi everyone, it's Sue. Today's video is showing you some of the results that I've got with some paper dyeing, and I've been using some different bits and pieces. I have seen a few videos of people doing different paper dyeing with different things, and I think it started basically when I was in the kitchen one day and I was cutting up a red onion. And I thought to myself, I wonder if the onion skin would give you red paper, or at least a purpley red colour. And surprisingly enough, no, it didn't. What I did was I sort of thought, well, how am I going to get the colour out of the skins? So what I did was I just simply boiled it. I put the skins in some water and just boiled it for probably, I'm not sure how long, half an hour maybe. And then I used the tub method for dyeing paper. I put some of the water, the onion skinned water into the tub and sort of wiped it over with a brush to make sure that it went all over, because there wasn't a huge amount. I would say a cup, maybe a cup and a half at the most. So I was conscious of trying to cover the paper. I did put some of my plastic doilies in between as well. But this is what happened with the onion skins. That was a doily that was in there. So I was, I guess, surprised that it didn't come out the red colours or purples, and somewhat disappointed, I guess, because to me that looks like coffee paper, coffee dyed paper or tea dyed paper. But nevertheless, it was a little different. And if you look at this one, there is a slight hint up there of pink. You might not be able to see it from there, but that's another one. And they don't smell of onion, which I was a bit concerned about, because because I'm fructose intolerant, onion is not a good thing for me to be near. So there's that one. So you can see there's a slight colouring there that's a bit different. So I'm wondering perhaps if I left them in the pot longer, boiled them longer, or had more of them maybe, or there might be something that you can add to them. I'm certainly no expert at it. It was just me playing around basically. But I know when you do eco dyeing that there is something you can add to the water to help the colour. So I guess when I have chance I might do a bit more research on that and see what I can come up with. But that's those ones. This one was also the same. It was just pulled out a lot quicker. Now the next batch, these ones were done with the peelings of purple carrots. And I will insert a picture in the video when I edit it of what I mean by a purple carrot. They are literally purple carrots. I think they're the original kind of carrots. I'm not 100%, but they are literally purple. And when you boil them or cook them, the colour does leach into the water, and in fact it will, if you cook it with other vegetables, it will also colour the other vegetables. So of course that led me thinking, well, if the colour's that strong, it's going to have to do something with the paper. And as you can see, it did. Not quite the same colour as the actual carrot, but nevertheless it's quite an interesting colour. So you can see I did some envelopes as well. And that one, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that, but there's a bit of a doily imprint on there. This one might be a bit better. Oh, this one's a better one. And again, I just boiled the peeling, the outside peel of the carrot. So there's a few different ones there. Now I did do 2 batches. I'm not sure if I actually separated the two looking at it. I don't think I did in the end. But it was interesting how the colour did vary. That's a slightly different colouring. It did vary. This was definitely the second batch because I remember ripping that as I tried to pull it out. It did vary according to the paper that you use. This is just normal photocopy paper. It's a pretty cheap one, 80 GSM, so fairly cheap paper. Just quickly, and you can see if you leave the doily, what I do is I pull them out to dry them. I leave them soaking for a little while, then I pull them out to dry them and put them on a towel, and I leave the doily in place. And the longer you leave it, that's sort of until it's dry, obviously, that's the imprint you get. So that's quite a clear imprint. And another one. Now these ones were just grid paper, but it was a different paper to this, but it's again similar in colour. And the same with this one. Slightly different colour, this one. This is a different grid paper to this one. So slightly different in colouring. This one here was just a white paper bag that I thought I'd throw in for good measure. It was a tight squeeze, so it got a bit damaged on the top here. But you can see the difference in colours. And now this lot here, and before anybody has, you know, a bit of a, it was red wine. And not that I used it, well, yes, I used red wine, but it was a bottle that was, it was one of those free sort of ones you get when, my mum got it when she sold her house. And she doesn't drink wine or red wine, so she sent it on to my place, so because my partner drinks red wine. Well, he tried it, and not good. Wasn't a very nice wine. So it sort of pretty much sat, you know, 3/4 full on the shelf for quite some time, until I discovered it was still sitting there. Pulled it out, and he did have a taste and decided no, it hadn't improved with age. So we thought, well, okay, I might try to do some paper dyeing with it. So this was just the wine just sort of splattered onto the paper. The colouring in the screen's probably a little browner than I can see it. These ones were the ones that were in the tub. So you can see, you're seeing it a bit browner, as I said, than I am, but it's certainly not the strong red that you would, the wine was. And it does still have a little bit of the odour. I did these 3 days ago, so it does still smell a little of the red wine, but I'm sure that will disappear. I know the onion paper didn't, but let me put that, no, didn't smell, but this one does. So I'm assuming it will disappear. It didn't, oh yeah, there's one that I did put a doily. I didn't do many of these because I didn't really want to pour, you know, almost a whole bottle of wine into the tub, because it did actually smell the house out. This house did smell quite strong of red wine. So I decided that was probably not a good idea. But it was an interesting little experiment. Gives you a different colour paper. You know, it's a slightly pink colouring. So I guess you could, if you're doing a pink journal or something like that, you know, you could pop in a few of these just for a colour variation on your normal papers. You know, for example, if you put it up against those, the colouring is quite noticeable. I don't have a normal tea-dyed paper here. Let me just have a look. Okay, this one's normal tea-dyed paper, so there is quite a difference in the colourings. And, you know, they're natural, I guess. They're not artificial. Well, the wine's probably artificial. But, you know, if you're going to have these things in your kitchen, you might as well use them. The purple carrots, I will point out there, I'm not sure, I got them, my daughter works at a organic food store, so she actually can get them for me. I'm not sure if you could get them in a normal grocer's. I'm not sure. They are more expensive, obviously, because purple's my favourite colour. When I did see them, I just thought, oh, why not? I'd like to try those. But happy I did, because as you can see I have some purple paper to use, or some bluey purple paper. So very happy about that. Alright, I hope you hope that gave you some inspiration to give it a try. I was thinking maybe I'll try orange carrots, but thinking about it, I don't know if the water turns orange. I haven't actually noticed, because I tend to steam my vegetables. So might give that a try. Might give it a try, different vegetables, see what it comes up with. But interesting anyway. Alright, I hope you got, as I said, I hope you got some ideas out of that. And I will see you again soon. Bye for now.